This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Sacred 2, perhaps the final episode, depending on how things go. Sorry I kind of cut off the last episode abruptly. I wasn't sure. Actually, I may even end up adding this to the middle of an episode, depending on what happens or how long the episode is or whatever. But had to, off-screen, basically kind of... I gained a level. I went around finishing some old quests to see if maybe they would drop some better inventory. Really not much has dropped better. I got some slightly better equipment. Hopefully, like, the slightly better stuff maybe will give me enough of an armor bonus and maybe give me slightly more damage. I finally swapped out my sword. Hopefully maybe just the extra punch will get something out of it. Also upgraded some of my skills. Let's see, off screen. Let's see, where's my... I improved some of my combat art slightly. I unequipped my Al Christie. I'm gonna see if I can just get more damage from, like, adding Soul Hammer. It kind of fills up pretty quickly, so we might be able to do something with that. Basically, the thing I have to worry about is damage. Now, I had to leave, so I may have to, like, redo some, destroy all the teleports again, because I had to actually leave the tower, so we'll see what happens here. So, alright, back to trying to fight the, Nameless Guardian again, so. Alright, and I bought some more health potions, so hopefully, hopefully I won't run out. I've got quite a few. I should be fine there, I think. I was worried before because in like last episode or maybe a few minutes ago, depending on what happens, I was having to like chunk HP potions like every other second because of just the damage he's inflicting on me, and I think the damage is still going to occur, but maybe I'll be able to upkeep with his healing because he seems to slightly regen. I don't know if it's a huge regen, but he still kind of slightly his HP slightly goes up every once in a while, so maybe with the introduction of Soul Hammer into the damage mix, maybe we might be able to get a little extra punch every time. Although I don't know if that's going to do much better, because Al Christie, I mean, it basically improves your attack speed, which means more chances for regular weapons to hit, so I don't know what's going to happen here.
Maker, when I have completed this task, will I then finally be allowed to go home?
Man, maybe. Who knows? Hopefully, I'm hoping that with the with enough damage, I'll be able to just kind of bust out enough damage, but it doesn't look like I'm doing much. Although it looks like I can only do, I've just noticed I can only do, I was trying to, it actually kind of looks like that. You can only do either Pelting Strikes or Soul Hammer, so never mind. Maybe doing the, swip out the Soul Hammer seemed to be a pretty bad idea, so never mind. Well, I mean, the Soul Hammer gives like one really solid strike, or you get Pelting Strikes, which gets you like 3 or 4 hits. But, I mean, it seems like I'm hitting... Ah, I got... God damn it. Ugh, I might leave that in. I don't know, what do you... I'm just trying to think, because this... Because it's not like the Pelting Strikes is slow. I mean, you still get those strikes, but you get a lot of small strikes instead of maybe I should go ahead and... Maybe I should add on Al Christie again or something like that. And we'll try that again, maybe. Because it seems to... I guess because there's multiple combat skills, it kind of... reduces... It basically affects both combat skills and reduces their... regen time, so I don't know why. I think it's because I didn't use them on multiple ones at once, so I wasn't sure about how that worked, but no, it does that, so we'll try again. I may end up having to cut multiple recordings of this just to get it to work, because man, I really don't want to grind more for that. 'Cause I feel like it's more of just an equipment thing, or maybe the way I built my character, and unfortunately I can't like reset the build by paying so much gold to redo it all over again. I have to basically just accept my choices from until this point, so I mean all you can do is, I mean you could improve a lot of your skills to try and get back to that point, but oh boy. I almost forgot to activate my buff. I try to improve my buff a lot just to try and improve my defense skill, but it seems like I'm still taking quite a bit of damage from this guy. I mean, I'm glad he doesn't completely heal, but... But I don't know. And apparently using your combat skill does slightly affect electricity a bit, but not too much on attack. I'm just kind of ignoring those like ray things that pop out there on the floor, and just hopefully they don't attack me. And just to focus on my health thing, and I'm trying to pay attention to my pelting strikes to get those up. It looks like I'm doing a bit more damage than before. And he's not healing as quickly, so this might be, he might be able to survive this time. Although having him get stuck there helps with me not, although he still does a lot of damage. But at least having him stuck there maybe gets me a bit more focused than him running around. I don't know if he's actually stuck. Ah, fuck. Shit. He just does so much damage. I guess this is one of those guys you do have to fight at level, like maybe have level 30 equipment, which with the lore skills I activated, or I can equip level 30 plus equipment, but the thing is, nothing's dropping that's giving me 30 plus equipment. Or I can't buy anything that's 30 plus equipment, so there's nothing I can do about that. I assume the only reason for those skills there is maybe if you're playing in a group that has, like maybe if you're like online playing your group with other players that are higher level and they get better drops and they can give you the stuff. Because usually you can only play your level unless you have the skill, and even then, you know, you can only do so much. But if you're playing with higher level characters, they could give the stuff they're not using, and they might be able to, you might be just at the right level. Because it seems like the game doesn't want to drop higher level equipment for me, so hopefully the guy didn't, hopefully he didn't, his HP didn't regen too much. It does go up, and I think if you leave the palace, or leave the area, it completely refills. So there's that. No, looks like his HP didn't go up too much. Although now he's just running across the map in weird spots that he shouldn't be in. Better not stay at that, I can't let those things stick me there, because, God, so much damage. Jeez, look at those crits. I have, like, all these abilities that are supposed to, like, improve, like, reduce, like, crit evade and all, or improve crit evade and all this other stuff. Yet, then we just fight him, and then it just gets all thrown out the fucking window. I don't know. I wonder if that spark thing he does to me is like a debuff or something like that. But unfortunately, debuffs don't. The only way you can tell I have a debuff is if I'm glowing, you know, with like green or see. Okay, now I have a debuff. I have no idea what it does. I can't look it up. It doesn't tell me what it does. Oops, I keep healing myself when I don't actually need to, and I'm wasting heal pots. It's because this guy will sometimes just crit me for a ton of damage or something. And then boom, there goes all my HP. So I'm trying to focus on my health. Maybe I should just heal whenever like about halfway goes, but I think we might have this. Yeah, standing on those like runes or whatever you want to call them, either do like little damage or add intensify damage. It's hard to say, but they definitely hurt. You know, you hit me. It hurt, but I kept coming back. Bigger than life, twice as ugly. But I think we might finally have this. An exciting episode of me pressing the A button and watching my health total. Yay! Woo! Alright. Yeah, twist and turn, buddy. Ugh. And you dropped equipment. Of course, that's because you can not new game. You can basically play with other players in their games or restart a new game with a new character, with your old character. So that's why games still dropping old stuff.
You have achieved one goal.
Oh, we did it. We beat the game. Right. Time to watch the game roll.
After eons of working, the big machine finally comes to rest. The T-energy in Ancaria dwindles away, and with it, all the horrors it once created. The price for Ancaria's salvation was high, Still, owing to your heroic deeds, this world may now look forward to a flourishing and peaceful future. Or, so everyone would like to think. However, that is another story.
What do you mean, the dark side? Dark playthrough? Or are you talking about Sacred 3? I completely forgot about that guy who was reading the credits at the beginning. It had been so long. So many days. And actually, I've been recording this game over like a week plus. So I kind of forgotten certain details when I take day breaks or whatever, so for work and all that other stuff. So, and that's it. That's Sacred 2. That's the end. Yeah, I didn't really expect much from them. Most of these games kind of just end with like a little explanation of like what happened, and boom, there you go. So, let's just kind of run over the game. It was a hack and slash game. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't god awful, though. It does suffer from a few things. Like, it suffers from, there's quite a few glitches and issues in the game. Like, you know, sometimes salespeople will fall through the floor. I've seen that happen. Or they'll spawn on the floor and have to reset the map multiple times. Getting stuck on things. The horse being summoned in weird spots that you can never get to. Looks like a lot of these credits are seem to be like middle European, so not just. I was thinking this company may have been British, but it may have been like middle, like Europe, like maybe like a Polish company or something like that, or something along those lines. But not that I'm judging. I'm just. Well, let's see. The music wasn't too bad. There's a few good tunes. The boss or the regular combat music, when it just kicks up into like the heavy tunes, is actually not bad, despite it being kind of a bit inappropriate for certain areas. You know, most of the music did its job, atmospheric in the right places. Not perfect. Maybe a few more memorable tunes I would have liked, but it did what it needed to do, and it was fine. Combat pretty straightforward. Hack and slash, a few combat style tricks similar to like Diablo-ish like games, something similar to that. I mean, it looked like there was a few more ways I could have played the game. Like, it looked like there was combo, like combat arts I could have utilized, which I never did. So maybe it allows you to use multiple ones at once without having to wait for certain ones to go. But I never really utilized that. I mean, not a whole lot of. I wouldn't say the game was super difficult either, really. I mean, even with my problems with the final boss, that was probably just me not really taking advantage of like resistances and stuff like that. Like, it looked like if I'd utilized Celestial Magic buff, which was the one where it reduces damage from my T energy damage, which was what that creature was, maybe I would have taken less damage. But I hadn't really utilized the Celestial Magic build very much, so I wouldn't have been super able to take advantage of that. But yeah, overall the game wasn't really that hard. I mean, okay, I was playing single player. I mean, multiplayer may be slightly different, but there wasn't really a whole lot of strategy to the game. It's basically just press A and hopefully, or utilize your combat arts and hopefully you don't die. I kind of wish there was a bit more area of effect type of stuff you could avoid to maybe have the bosses have a, I wouldn't say gimmicks, but a few more different things for the bosses, so that okay, yeah, I thought there was moderators for like websites and stuff like that. That's why there's a lot of references to the forums and stuff like that in the middle of the game, like from graveyards and stuff like that. And I doubt playing the other, but yeah, I wish there was more gimmicks or some different types of boss fights, because a lot of them were just press A till they die, basically, or beat them. So that was kind of disappointing. Although there are a few there was a few cool boss designs, but I mean, I guess if any boss was interesting, it probably would be the final boss. The whole having to destroy the teleporters so no more characters could pop in to hurt you, and having to fight all those big. Although you were basically having to fight the same robot like at least 3 times, and then the final one being a bit more of a buff and had different powers. So at least there was that. And I thought the flying demon thing was kind of cool looking. The Miasma boss was super annoying just because of how the camera moved. Now, maybe I could have changed it to free roaming, and maybe that would have fixed that, but man, that made me sick. Oy. Yeah, combat was pretty straightforward. I mean, I like the idea of the different choices of characters you could play as, although a lot of it would be just pressing A to beat them. The only difference would be what their attacks looked like and what they commented on during the course of the game. That probably would have been entertaining if I played with the characters. Now, I like the idea that there was a second story arc to this game, the Dark's plot, but I'm not going to do that. The game didn't, unfortunately, I mean, I hate to say it, the game doesn't interest me enough to play the Dark plot. I guess if I owned the game, I would, but the game really doesn't, I mean, for all of some of the interesting stuff in the game, like the whole tech fantasy mixture, because I remember someone enjoying the first game, and the first game didn't have the T energy and this whole mixture of science and fantasy. It was more of a straight fantasy. I wonder if that's why they added T energy and the Temple Guardians and all this other stuff, was to try and make their game different from the other fantasy genres like your Diablos and stuff like that, to maybe pop out. But that was kind of interesting, but not, it still wasn't enough to keep me interested in playing. I guess if I'd played with multiple people, maybe it would have been more fun. But I mean, I hate to knock the game so much. It's just, I mean, I just didn't. I mean, I felt myself losing interest multiple times. That's probably why this game took me so long to record all the way through. I was having just a, well, I mean, other than my schedule being kind of weird at the time, I was basically going, I have to record again today. That's probably why my commentary has not been very good on this, and I don't know why I made it a full playthrough. I should have just stopped when I lost interest, but I wanted to beat it to the end, and I did, and I'm glad I did. Just to kind of see it through, and maybe, I don't know how many people actually have videos recorded of Sacred 2. I don't think I remember seeing a whole lot, at least not in English anyway, so not that I'm the best person to represent this or anything like that. And of course I've stopped listening to the credits for a while. They're probably repeating at this point. The only reason I keep this game is to try and play with different characters and see their playstyles, or see the different pathway, like the Dark Path, because the Dark Path obviously is different. It's going to be, you're going to have different NPCs you interact with in different areas of the maps that you probably go to, and the final boss is probably different too, as well as the final end credits scene. You know, beta testers could have used a bit more beta testing, although it's not super broken. I can't say that. It wasn't. There wasn't. I didn't really notice any super game-breaking stuff. Was this game released in 2008? Huh. I feel like this game was more of a 2010 release game or something like that, but I could be wrong. It must have been an early Xbox game. That's probably why this game doesn't look as good as it should. Not for rental. Didn't I just rent the game? Oh, what can I say? The story's pretty straightforward. It was basically save the world from other group or whatever. Although I lost track of that so many times because of how off the path you go. Because even though the plot tells you to go from one point to the next, I feel like I lost in the middle of it, like why I was going there. Although apparently the quest log does give you a little bit better explanation of why you're doing it, but I'd rather have the game tell me that, like, okay, the game was telling me that from the quest log, but what I mean is from the interaction with NPCs and stuff like that. Like, you go through the quest log to read that stuff to get little minor details that maybe if you wanted to know a little bit more about certain things, you would read the quest log, but usually NPCs or interactions with the main character would do that. And I feel like there was a lot of that missing in the game. Although I thought the Seraphim was fun to play just because of her attitude towards things. You know, I almost thought about starting... I wonder, how much time do I have left? I've got a few more minutes. Actually, let's start a... let me create a dark side character really quick. Who would be dark side? Maybe a Shadow Warrior maybe would be. I know the Inquisitor for sure is dark side. High Elf's probably a good character. Temple Guardian maybe.
Have existed in Ancaria since the beginning of time, brought into being.
Because we know the Seraphim's good, and the Dryad should be good too. But yeah, I'm feeling.
I was a soldier. I proved myself.
Well, let's play Inquisitor just because he's their obvious bad guys.
One of the high
so let me do that really quick.
High elves, vested with all of the privileges of my rank.
I'm trying to think of an Inquisitor from like an RPG or like an anime or something like that.
Of the lower beings of this world do not concern me. Let them call me evil. May they wail and curse me. They are lacking the mind to understand the true principles of my existence.
Welsh, or
the unrestricted exercise of the power I am entitled to for the higher good of the Inquisition.
That's not an actual person of anything, but I can't really Oh, you know, let's just call him Anderson from like well, I mean, he'd have to be a paladin, but from oh, what's the name of that anime? Vampire, really badass vampire. Crap, I can't remember. Yeah, he's a shadow. Okay. I wonder if the intro is different for playing a shadow character. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do that really quick. Just. Oh, and you know, I realized I'd been playing on normal mode too. I wasn't even playing on the difficult mode, so maybe playing on silver and gold would make the game more difficult. I could have made it more difficult, I guess. But I feel like all it would have gone down to was just a case of having better armor and damage. Like I feel like the resistances and all that other stuff wouldn't really. I mean, they're important, but I don't know, the way the game was designed.
Ancaria have flowed with T-energy since time immemorial.
I wonder if
this mysterious power
T-energy
is the
wasn't
root
in the
of all
original
life,
game, though.
the source of all magic, the origin of all thought.
I was just wondering if the Shadow
Eons
campaign
passed,
has
and the seraphim
a
continued
different
to watch
intro.
over the fate of the world. In their
But I don't
wisdom,
think they
the
are
seraphim
different.
chose to share their knowledge, bestowing magical secrets of the energy upon the favored high elves.
That's hot.
But
I guess
power
since we've
breeds
seen this, I can
fear,
kind of
anger,
comment
and
about it, but
jealousy. The perilous energy became the center of all disputes. Finally,
it kind of looks like the
terrible
Temple Guardian
war raged
R
through
Shadow
Ancaria,
campaign. Okay, so
erasing
Shadow, not
all
Dark
order
campaign.
in its wake.
But
An even more
yeah.
advanced High Elven civilization arose from the ashes of the dead, deriving their
I mean, a lot
power
of this
from
is still
abusing
similar.
T-energy. The beautiful
I don't know,
cities
maybe
and the
this might
people
be
are
the same
threatened by the
intro.
T-energy that has escaped its confines. Hideous mutated creatures
Maybe
now
the
rampage through the
maybe I should
lands,
skip it.
destroying everything in their path.
'cause like I said, it looks pretty similar. If the cutscene shows the yeah. Can we skip that? Okay. It looked the same, so I mean, if it is slightly different for the Shadow campaign, past that point, I'm just gonna skip to then you know, maybe it is, I don't know, but we'll see what happens when it loads. See if because we started the game talking to the Seraphim leader, but I was about to say I bet the Shadow campaign starts somewhere else. I wonder if it's different per class, like where you start out at. Probably not. I bet it's the same either way. So, yeah, I'll show you the bit of the Shadow campaign before we call it quits. Yeah, at least I'll give you
The
folks that.
messenger is
Whoa!
dead,
He
you say?
teleported.
Good work. If beg pardon, we hadn't prevented this sinister scheme from coming to pass, several high-ranking inquisitors in Thylicium might have lost their heads. Literally. Let us raise our glasses.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe
You
different
don't mind
classes
if
do
I
start
make
out
my
differently.
way to Thylicium right away in order to inform them of our success? The Inquisitors will be very pleased with us. Of course, I will give due credit to you, and I am sure... What's wrong with me? Why is my throat burning? What have you done?
Murder! He killed him! Stop him!
Don't sound too excited, game. Jesus. Stop him. He murdered him. Oh. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. Oh dear. We did it. Anyway. Alright, and then I assume in this game we even start, because when we started our game, I'll show you. Where did we start in ours? I thought it was like the mountain over here. Let's see, let me think. We started in this land for sure. God, now I'm trying to remember where I started at. I know it wasn't this inn. Crap. Well, yeah, we do definitely start in a different area as opposed to. Actually, this map's slightly. No, it's okay. We started. Okay. Bad guys start here. Good guys, I think we started like somewhere. It was either here or here, something like that. But okay, we do start in different spots. So, but anyway, you probably interact with more of the Inquisition and maybe alternate parties. You probably, like when you go to like the Dryad area down here, for example, you probably interact with the blood sirens or whatever their name is instead. So you probably interact with the Temple Guardians here. Here you probably help the prince take over his throne. Here you probably help like a different tribe. I forgot what the dark tribe of Lizardmen was here. So I don't know what you do on the Seraphim Island. You might not even go there, maybe. But all right, that was Sacred 2. Yeah, this game is definitely a poor man's Diablo. I mean, if you want something different and you like Diablo, sure, give it a try. But for me, it lost its appeal rather quickly. It's definitely more of a multiplayer game than a single-player game, because the single-player campaign just gets just gets boring after a while. At least I thought it was, and I hate to say it like that, but I definitely lost interest pretty quickly in this game. So my verdict on this game is send it back, but I hope you enjoyed my run on this game. I know it wasn't the most entertaining. I kind of whined and complained on a lot of spots there and just kind of babbled on. So, but if you found even a little bit of enjoyment, I think it was worth it in the end. So, all right, well, time to send it back and time to go on to other better games. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time when the mail comes in. Thanks for watching.